Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and I've probably caught you off guard. It's an impromptu live. I just wanted to give you an update, let you know what's happening or not happening with the Samantha Murphy search. So, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world that we're living in. I haven't got long this morning. I've got classes, Spanish classes. I teach Spanish. Anybody who doesn't know that, anybody new. But I will be back later with part 2 as well of the Jen Soto interview. So I will be back later with part 2 of that later on today. So my name's Vicky Marie. I'm here in mainland Spain. It is 10:42 a.m. It is a cool 25 degrees. It's a beautiful day. It sounds hot, but actually, after the temperatures we've been through the summer, it feels nice and fresh. So this morning, when I was on the way to the dog beach to walk the dogs, the sunrise was stunning. And if only I wasn't driving, I would have recorded it because it was so beautiful. And you know what? That's when I just thank God, that's one more day that I get to see that beautiful sunrise. And it made me think a lot of Samantha. And I was thinking back to when she first went missing. And those of you who've been watching my channel for a while. So this is Samantha Murphy, who disappeared way back now, wasn't it? Was it February the 3rd or something like that, while she was out jogging. And I had a dream about Samantha quite early on while she was still missing and nobody had been charged. And I did dream that she was deceased, and I dreamt that she was sat up somewhere. It's quite an odd dream. Anyway, it turns out they are searching a lot of mine shafts. So the update that I'm going to give you this morning is basically to tell you about where they've been searching. As far as I know, they haven't found anything, unless it'll be the day, the search for today, like yesterday in Australia, will have probably finished by now. No news has come out as far as I know, but we're going to have a look at some of the news items and get an idea of where they've been searching. And I do really strongly believe that they will find Samantha. And I was thinking about it. So I was thinking about her when I was looking at this lovely sunrise, and thinking, poor Samantha, because she would have gone out early that morning. It was a lovely time of the day in the summer, because it was summer, of course. And unfortunately, Samantha never got to see any other sunrises. Well, she will be seeing them, but she's in a different plane now, different place where hopefully everything's beautiful, sunrises, etc. And in the arms of angels, I would hope. So yeah, maybe she's part of the sunrise now. It's like we're all part of some sort of, I don't know, endless chain, aren't we? So anyway, so beautiful sunrise this morning. Just couldn't work out how I could film it, while I was driving. It was a little bit dangerous, but anyway, one morning maybe I'll work out how to do it. I mean, the skies were stunning. I mean, that really enriches your soul, doesn't it? When you see beautiful scenery like that, it really does make you feel good inside and appreciative of everything. We should appreciate every minute that we're here on this earth, that we spend with people we love, that we spend doing things that we love doing. We're lucky. And we have problems. There's lots of problems. People have mental health problems, financial problems, relationship problems. But there's always a little thing, maybe just watching the sunrise, or going for a walk in the woods, or doing some exercise, there's always be something that you can do. And even if you're stuck in the house and you can't get out, maybe just sort of watching a video, watching something that takes you to another place, that takes you away from whatever your problems are. Anyway, so that's my philosophical spiel this morning. Let me just say hello to anybody who's managed, because I did set the live for the wrong time as usual. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Darren. Hi, Lorna. Exactly. Listening to the birds, Kelly. Just, you know what I like watching as well? I like watching my dogs playing because one of my dogs in particular, Hi Lily, Rocky, I've always said about him, he's high on life. He honestly pulled me out of a time when I got rocky times where, you know, there were things going on that were very, you know, I've never thought I would ever come through. And like Rocky can just get when he was a puppy, and he's still the same, to be honest. He's like so excited about everything. You know, he's got, when we went to the beach, you know, he's got to go everywhere. You know, I worry about him going in the sea because sometimes it's quite the waves are quite strong, and I'm not jumping in to get him. So, you know, but he's got to sniff everything. He's got to see everything. He's there. He's there. He's over there. You feel like you're going for a walk with about 10 different dogs, because I think, where's he gone? He went over there, and then he comes back from up there, and you think, how the hell did he get over there? Because he's so quick. But he loves everything. He takes pleasure in a bit of paper blowing across the road, or, you know, and that's helped me a lot. I think just seeing our dogs and other animals just take this simple pleasure in being alive. You know, they don't need alcohol, they don't need drugs to cheer them up or to, you know, take them to another world. They don't need anything. All they need is their food, their water, and to play and sleep. That's the 4 things that they do, really, isn't it? Eat, drink, play, sleep. You know, simple as that. So I think they can teach us a lot, can't they? You know, animals teach us a lot. Like, say, birds singing. Oh God, and there's loads of birds where I am, and sometimes you think, oh my God, you know what my place is like? It's never quiet. There's always something. If it's not the bangers, the neighbours, the chihuahua, the birds. I just feel that when one thing stops making a noise, something else starts making a noise. But you know, the birds singing and that, you do, it is beautiful. It really is beautiful. So yeah, we're going to appreciate everything, aren't we? So we're still praying that they find Samantha. You know, it doesn't seem like they've found her today. Whether they're carrying on again tomorrow, I don't know. I've not seen anything one way or another. But let's just have a look at a couple of the news items that were talking about where they were going to search. So what the police are doing is they're targeting areas. So they must have, you know, they've obviously got the phone data, and apparently got a massive amount of data, haven't they? They said that at the court hearing for Patrick. So they'll be working their way through it, and I imagine they do the easiest places first, if that makes sense. So the thing is, if you've got 10 spots where you think that Samantha's body might be because of phone data off Patrick's phone, say, you know, places where he spent a little bit of time or where he visited, you're going to go for the most accessible first, aren't you? You're not going to start with the most difficult, because you'll go to the most accessible, search those first, make sure she's not there, and then, you know, you move on to increasingly more difficult. I would imagine that's how I would do it anyway. Start with the easiest ones, because then if you find it, you don't have to go to the treacherous ones, because they're saying that this area that they're searching at the moment is quite treacherous. So obviously Patrick, he knows the area, he's grown up there. Who knows where he's put Samantha, but he's put her somewhere. I mean, she didn't just vanish into thin air, you know, vaporize. She is somewhere, and his phone will be a good indicator of the places that he's been to and where he might have put her, won't it? So let's have a look what the news reports were saying at the end of yesterday, which was the first day of searching. Just a couple of news reports, different perspectives.
Good morning. There's a new search underway for the body of Ballarat mother Samantha Murphy. Police have returned to the area near where her phone was found, as Geordie Wright reports.
Yeah, so apparently this search is literally a stone's throw, or not very far, from where her phone was found. So remember, a phone was found in that dam, wasn't it? The dogs sniffed it out. It was sort of, as that dam has receded, because as that dam, apparently they haven't had much rain or whatever, and the dam's receded. So the phone was there on the banks of the dam under silt, and the dogs sniffed it out, which is brilliant. It must have been brilliant when they found Samantha's phone. We saw them congratulating each other, etc. So these searches now, and I expect I'm sure they'll have either been to Patrick or been to his lawyer and said, look, we've got the phone. Patrick Oren Stevenson, the 23-year-old twonk who's in prison for killing Samantha. He's still not speaking. He's going to hang on as long as he can possibly hang on before he divulges where Samantha is, if he ever does. So obviously the best thing, please God, the police find Samantha before the trial, because then he's got nothing to bargain with. He's got nowhere to go.
Detectives are searching the Enfield State Forest about 17 kilometres south of the dam where the Ballarat mother's phone was found 3 months ago. This latest search for Samantha Murphy's remains began yesterday after new intelligence led police to the area. At the moment, investigators from the Missing Persons Squad, the Mounted Branch and the Canine Unit are scouring the dense bushland. They also have assistance from New South Wales and Federal Police. It's understood the search area is approximately 2 kilometres by 3 kilometres. They will also be paying particular attention to mine shafts that are dotted throughout that area.
Yeah, so apparently there's a lot of mine shafts in that area, some of which are known, and probably some that aren't. So they're telling the public to stay away because they don't want the public interfering. So that's where they are, near the Enfield State Forest. Please God, I hope they find, if they don't find her this time, I'm certain that they will find her. But obviously, every day that goes past, it's more torture for Samantha's family. So I'm actually just taking my nail varnish off at the moment. So this is how I'm rushing around this morning. I'm not ready, or my nail varnish is all terrible. So as I'm talking to you, I'm going to be doing my nails.
Area. Now, Samantha Murphy was last seen leaving her home to go for a run in February. She was meant to meet up with family later that day, but never arrived. 22-year-old Patrick Stevenson has been charged with her murder, but has refused to cooperate with investigators. Police are hoping that today could be the breakthrough they desperately need for Samantha Murphy's family before the accused is back in court in November.
Geordie Wright reporting.
Yeah, so it's still a little while before he's back in court. So even if they don't find her on this particular search, there's still time for other searches. But wouldn't it be good if suddenly there was a news flash? I'm keeping my eye on the news all the time. It'd be great if suddenly there was some sort of news flash that something had been found. Right, let's have a look at what this news was.
Detectives in Victoria have been joined by New South Wales specialist officers and the AFP for day 2 of the renewed search for missing Ballarat mother Samantha Murphy. Around 45 officers with horses and dogs have set out around the Grenville Recreation Reserve in a bid to find any trace of her remains. Jessica Maggio has more.
Well, this is the first major development in the search for the remains of Samantha Murphy as detectives enlist additional resources to help take on new ground. Victoria Police are leading a fresh, targeted search alongside specialist New South Wales Police and Federal Police. A total of 45 members have been enlisted, including the dog squad, officers on motorbikes and mounted divisions. Today's search has been localised to Grenville, south of Ballarat, and just south of Buninyong, where Samantha Murphy's mobile phone was found in May. Police are searching a 3-kilometre radius, which they say is particularly dangerous, riddled with known and unknown mine shafts 5 metres deep. For this reason, they've asked the public not to take part in today's investigation. It's understood authorities have been searching the wider area for the past month. A heavy downpour meant police were delayed this morning, but the search resumed just before 11 o'clock. Samantha Murphy went missing 7 months ago. The mother of 3 went for her morning jog on February 4 but never returned home. 22-year-old Patrick Stevenson has been charged with her murder, but has been uncooperative with police. Ms Murphy's family has been notified of today's search as they and an entire community continue to wait for answers.
Yeah, so, you know, that was the news sort of before the search. Now, unfortunately, the news that I saw this morning is, well, the last news that I saw that is that nothing has been found. So we're going to have a look at that. Hi, Moonbeam. We'll have a look at there's a news item just from a couple of hours ago. Let's have a look at that.
It's been 4 months since detectives
of Samantha Murphy, 8 months. Police have once again been unable to locate the remains of Samantha Murphy 8 months after the 51-year-old went missing while going for a jog near Ballarat. The search has focused on forest near Grenville, about half an hour south of Ballarat, and involved specialist teams from Victoria and New South Wales, including mounted units, the dog squad and the missing persons team. The search area is a short drive from where Ms Murphy's mobile phone was found by investigators in May. It's understood the forested area where the search was undertaken has a number of known and unknown mine shafts, prompting safety concerns. The search was conducted in difficult, wet conditions, but late this afternoon it was called off without success. In March, 22-year-old Patrick Oren Stevenson was charged with Ms Murphy's alleged murder. It's expected he will front court again in November.
So, unfortunately, the update is not good, or not good in the sense, hi Popeye, the update is not good. You know, it seems like they've not found anything today, or like Australian today. Of course, the day's just starting here in Spain, but I imagine the day is getting on there in Australia. What time will it be? About 5 o'clock, is it, in the afternoon or something like that? So far, nothing. I'm just sure that eventually they will find Samantha. It's just when they've got so many places to search. But you know, one thing that we do know, if we know anything, is the Victorian police. They are tenacious, aren't they? They're definitely tenacious. Which reminds me, because I think it was yesterday, somebody gave me the name of the Easy Street killer, didn't they? And I was going to look him up. So I may as well do it now while I'm in a... Harry God, what name? Kudrem. Oh my God, I can't even see what I've written down. It's my writing. Kurumblis. So yeah, you know, another Australian case, the Easy Street killer, who's just been arrested. Here he is. Oh, the Greek Herald. Right. So that's all we know really about Samantha. But just going back now, so another case that I looked at from Australia, and I do think there's a relevance because it's also the Victoria Police. And I think we must remember they're very tenacious. It's took them, nearly 50 years to arrest this guy. So they're not going to give up after less than a year with Samantha Murphy of finding her remains. They're definitely not going to give up. And, you know, quite often it takes quite a long time to find bodies. Remains, especially in places like the Australian bush, etc. You know, then it's not easy. You know, I reckon sometimes they could probably search those areas a few times and miss something. You know, I just don't know. It's it's so difficult, isn't it? You know, to find things in those sort of conditions. So just having it, I'm going to share this with you. So yeah, people were telling me yesterday the name of that Easy Street killer. Let's have a look at him. So family and friends react to the arrest of Easy Street murder suspect Perry Kurumblis. Good God. Well, do you know, he looks scary, doesn't he? I mean, he's supposed to have done this when he was 17, but do you know what? It's always in the eyes, isn't it? Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. Just looking out at you from a photo. It's horrible. They're horrible, aren't they? They just look bad. You know, they say that eyes are the windows to the soul. They bloody are. So he's thought he's got away with it, hasn't he? He's 62, apparently. Was he 61, 62? Living in Greece. He'd gone to look after, I think, was it his parents or his mum or something? Gone back to Greece and to avoid the DNA tests and that once they developed a DNA profile. And he was probably, for some reason, he left Greece to go to Rome. He was at the Rome airport, and that's when the police pounced on him because he couldn't arrest him in Greece because Greece has this statute of limitation type thing that if you don't charge somebody for an offence within a certain time, you can't ever charge them for it. And because the length of time that had gone, Greece would not arrest him. So they had to patiently wait for him to leave the country. So, yeah, Perry Kurumblis was apprehended in Rome over the 1977 murders of Susan Bartlett and Suzanne Armstrong. He was notably identified as the individual who discovered the murder weapon. Oh, didn't know that. So he said he'd discovered the murder weapon. God, these twonks, they're clever, aren't they? See, of course, in those days, it was different. The police didn't have what they've got to their the resources they've got to their disposal now. So he got away with it. He wouldn't get away with that now, I don't think. But probably people still do get away with things. But DNA has made it difficult, hasn't it, to get away with things. So conflicting reception has been received from the family and friends of Kurumblis as the news broke of his identity. Speaking from his home in Greece, his estranged cousin, Pericles Kurumblis, branded him a jerk with a difficult character. And according to The Age, the problem boy reportedly spent his teenage years breaking into homes, stealing jewellery and drifting in and out of youth detention. And these sentiments were in stark contrast to those by his friend Phil Akers, who spoke to Kurumblis almost every day for 10 years when the man lived next door to his business in Dandenong. According to the ABC News, Akers said, "When I heard the news, you could have knocked me off the chair with a feather. I was dumbfounded. I don't think he's capable of murder. Anything is possible, but I never saw any aggression in him at all." The thing is, really, basically, I think everybody's capable of murder, but in different circumstances. I don't think everybody's capable of breaking into someone's home and murdering someone and then raping them after they're dead. Don't think everyone's capable of that. Everyone's capable of manslaughter, I suppose, isn't it? Fit of rage, passion, accidentally pushing someone or, just losing it completely. So but this quite often happens, doesn't it? People think, oh, you would never have known it. You would never have thought they would have done anything like that. So he says, I don't think he's capable of murder. Anything is possible, but I never saw any aggression in him at all, Akers added. We used to go out fishing together on the boat and just sit there, have a beer, throw some fish, and he was a good fisherman. I don't recall him having a big circle of friends. He's just an ordinary bloke. He doesn't look like an ordinary bloke to me. I mean, his eyes do definitely look. If he came to my Spanish classes, I would definitely not feel comfortable with him looking at me. I think you can see there's something in that guy. But you know, maybe that's just because now I know there is. Sometimes it's easy in hindsight, isn't it? I don't recall him having a big circle of friends, but he's just an ordinary bloke. I don't think he was secretive. He wasn't eccentric in any way, but he lived his own life. Yeah. Looks a bit scary to me, to be honest. Let's see if we've got anything else. Having said so, now his brother says he's 100% certain he's innocent. Perry Carumblis, his brother says he's 100% sure of his innocence. Oh, look at that little house. It looks so cute, doesn't it? He's 100% sure there's been a mistake. His brother is innocent. But his cousin thinks he's a jerk. Thing is, you know, it all depends on how well people get on with someone, doesn't it? So his brother Tony Carumblis told the Guardian Australia he had yet to receive official confirmation from police that the force would seek to extradite him for the murder. But he's certain he's innocent. So he had a nickname, Dingo. So Perry left Melbourne in Greece in 2007 for Greece in 2017, and 9 newspapers reported he left Australia after he was asked for a DNA sample. And then, yeah, because didn't they say that then it was confirmed that the DNA was his from filial DNA, or from they tested the DNA on a family member and it's a match. I don't know. And that's when they announced a $1 million reward, of course. So his nickname was Dingo, this Perry, the suspect. He was a metal worker. He operated a business, AAA Victorian Raw Iron, from Bulleen and then from Dandenong. It is odd that he never did anything else, because normally, I mean, that was such a... You know, it was such a violent crime, and with the sexual assault as well. It's difficult to believe that he didn't do anything after that. You know, people like that don't normally stop. Anyway, Tony said it made no sense to him that Perry would stay in Melbourne for 40 years after the murders if he had been involved. If he did something as bad as that, he would have moved. Oh, he didn't have a partner or children. And he did not appear to be concerned about his privacy. His Facebook profile featured photos taken outside his business address in Dandenong, and he shared his mobile number. But the police chief commissioner described the case as gruesome, horrific, frenzied homicide. Just makes you wonder, has he done anything since? Has he? Anyway, he's caught now, so one way or another, they'll either match him up with the DNA, they'll find out if it was him. Hi, Chumba. You know, it's it's hopeful, isn't it? As far I can't see that the police would have arrested him unless they're pretty certain that it was him. But anyway, time will tell. Time will tell. Oh, Jumber, I hope you find your new place soon. So I've got to go because I've got classes. But as I say, I'll be back later for Jen Soto for the part 2 of the Jen Soto interview. Not sure exactly what time yet. It'll probably be about 1:30 Spanish time. I can't get numbers in my head. Oh God, I'm useless with numbers. And I'll see you then. And thanks for being there. And unfortunately, no news yet about Samantha Murphy. But as soon as I hear anything about Samantha, let's hope there's some news will come out. If not, I'm sure it won't be long before they'll be doing another search, will it? So, let's pray. I'm going to light my virtual candle for Samantha. Let's hope that something comes of these searches. So I'll see you later in the next video, and until then, as always, may your God go with you.